Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from a caffeine overdose.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, same. It probably also could be cocaine he ingested.
Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion.
Oh my god, you are the worst at your job, aside from your brother. I'm excited.
Huh. Well then, Mr. Trite, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us. Let's see what's up your sleeve. Or rather, at the end of your index finger.
That was weird.
That sounds really weird. What would be a great AU is that they're both arguing over whether Phoenix can do it. Phoenix happens to, like, pretend to do it toward a wall, and the wall explodes because someone actually bombed them, but they both are standing there like, oh my god, you can actually do it! Don't realize the danger immediately.
What happened with Phoenix's luck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Coco and Moon are here with our guest Binks, and we are continuing Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much?
Yeah, it does.
Or are you saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge?
Looks at Phoenix, right?
So it was just a misunderstanding, I see.
This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident.
It certainly was burned to a crisp. And one of the suspension wires is gone. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall.
You think they used a drone to take that picture?
No, they just threw Gumshoe in there with the fucking camera.
Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across the bridge in this condition.
Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. And Maya will be accused of murder.
Trite, I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err. And only humans can spot the errors of our ways.
The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Literally, if you're trying to be a cool guy saying cool things at this point in the trial, you've jumped the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone full Larry.
All right, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body.
Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place.
I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. The body did make it across somehow. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess.
But you seemed to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? I don't know, she's pretty cute, so... In this world, probably.
Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much?
This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally, it was,
You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it?
Well, he got a concussion, so I think he has more leeway than you. But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduate. Is that really that important?
Look, he's proud he graduated from elementary school, okay?
I mean, Edgeworth
Compared
was
to
there, so
Harry.
of course he would be really excited.
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Trite.
What?
That's what makes him a protagonist.
By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed a bridge while it was on fire.
Or are you saying that there's a way to cross a burning bridge?
Are we really gonna use Larry's fucking artwork? Oh my god. Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way to cross.
Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly?
The more serious she remains, the more absolutely fucking terrified I am.
A dead body crossing a burning bridge. Did anyone actually witness such a thing?
Ha!
We're gonna have to get Larry.
If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. After all, a dream isn't the same as as actually seeing something.
I've come all this way, so I owe it to everyone to figure this out. How do you transport a body across a burning bridge? Even if I don't know the exact answer yet, it's okay. I'll start by examining all of my evidence and see where it takes me. I've got to be like a shark. If I don't keep moving, I'm as good as dead.
Not that.
I thought there was another statement to present it on. I don't know.
Let's check them all. So,
I mean, I've never tried that one.
is the snow still falling?
I usually do it on this
This
one.
one? Okay.
A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility.
What?
You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air.
I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Oh, God. I cannot fucking believe.
Who is it? Who is this witness?
Can't chicken out here. I've got to keep on the attack and go, go, go. Oh my God. He's Elise Donham's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Larice Donham.
Brilliant.
Highly gifted.
Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony. That night he was at the Mountain Shack, Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night.
Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument?
Oh, the judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Can Godot even see that picture? That's a better question.
Huh. Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it.
Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down.
Yeah, that's the fucking plan.
If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch?
Upside down. Why did Godot say that? Ah, I see. I hate this. This is just like the fucking receipt.
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. No, that would make total sense because Larry was fucking physically upside down. I hate this. I hate this so fucking much.
I love it.
It's so fucking angry.
I love it.
I hate it.
find it interesting that Godot is the one who points it out.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh.
She said that she's surprised that it was Godot who pointed it out. Ugh, it makes me mad.
I wish they had dragged that out a bit more. Like, Phoenix just doesn't get it. And Godot just gets increasingly more like, if I turn my coffee cup upside down.
All my coffee goes on the floor. He would never
Or
lose
at least
coffee.
have-
That's the other thing.
Yeah. Or at least have Phoenix, like, think about the fact that Godot's the one who pointed it out.
It really feels like a trap. Anyway, all right, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Larice Donham is... Something is obviously funny about the sketch.
I'm no art critic, but even I can see that.
Can you? Can you see what kids love about Cinnamon Toast Crunch? No, that's not what I mean, Your Hunter.
You know, everyone keeps harping on it being a terrible picture. I actually think it's really pretty. Like, especially
Yeah.
for someone who's, like, doing art for a children's book. I think it's very fitting.
Yeah.
Like, at least how it's drawn, not necessarily the image itself.
It makes sense that, you know, Larry is, because the quality of the coloring and stuff is like, oh yeah, Larry actually knows how to do stuff. It's just that its simplicity was, you know, everybody's like, this fucking sucks. And it's like, well, let's see all y'all fucking draw.
Yep.
No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Laurice Donham stated it over and over. That the sketch was exactly as he saw it. Oh, fucking Christ. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
It contradicts reality.
Huh. This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trite. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it?
It's this wire connected to the bridge.
The wire.
Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality?
It is indeed.
Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality.
That's a photo of Dusty Bridge, correct?
Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge,
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
the wires are below the guard wires.
Order, order, order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong.
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong!
With someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question. Where did he make a mistake? What was the reason?
Are you saying you know the answer to that?
Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Laurice was doing when he witnessed this event? He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. Feeny. Language.
Oh my god.
He waited and waited, and finally, he laid down.
Harry, such an inconsiderate lover.
But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Larry must have been in at the time. I don't want a Phoenix. I don't want to think about this. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did.
Of course he'd want his partner to be on top.
He was lying on his back. I can't see how it relates.
But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down.
No way.
Reese Donham witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down.
So then, this sketch should actually...
I think you finally get it, Your Honor.
So I guess that whole upside down thing was more the game being like, here's a hint! And maybe not so much Godot helping. It did seem like he was trying to help.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's like he had a nice feeling for a moment, but then he's like, oh no, I fucked up. The correct way to view Laurice Donham's sketch is like this. It's not as aesthetically pleasing like that.
Yeah.
This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually what do you mean fucking swinging below? Phoenix, that's fucking horrifying. That's right. Just like a pendulum. What the fuck? Terrifying. I thought you were just, falling.
Order.
Of all things to say, a pendulum! That voice in our heads is right!
The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done.
Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff.
Yes, that sounds right.
In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you'd need a rope that is at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead.
The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident. So it doesn't make sense that the criminal would have prepared a rope beforehand. So then, the criminal... They didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of the criminal.
What?
I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there.
In that case, Mr. Vine, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? And the meaning of this is...
If you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard. Okay, buttering him up, I get it.
This is one of the wires from the bridge.
And the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire. One of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste. So they tied the wire around Elise Donham's body. so creepy. That's so fucking scary. Because there was simply no other way to move the body.
Huh.
Jesus. Sounds like he's gargling a dick.
Mr. Godot, please stop gargling dicks over there.
Oh, I can't stop!
I mean, dicks do taste good. It seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his dicks than answering my question.
I want to know what that mouth do.
I'm sorry, I'm just remembering the Game Grumps when they were. Did you guys
Oh,
see?
7 dicks.
Yes.
Or 6, I don't remember how many. Many dicks.
6 dicks.
6
Always
dicks.
6.
I gotta get back to that one after we do this, because I stopped doing it because it was like, well, fuck, I'm watching a bunch of things that'll be spoilers.
It was good. Their reactions were funny.
It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all.
Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Trite. I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum?
Certain round.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I thought it was the autopsy report.
Actually, no, you're right. I think either one would work, but I think the autopsy report's better. I'm trying to remember.
Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it as the one that was in front of the inner temple.
So then that was the spot where the criminal.
Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point.
Did you say drop?
Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death.
10 feet, huh?
That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum and then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Miss Elise Donham's staff. And even more important is the place where the crystal sphere was found.
Indeed, I believe it's already marked in this overhead. The crystal was found. Ah!
Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed.
This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way the body could have been moved that night.
What was that effect?
Hmm?
I just like saw a flashing, heard a
Hmm.
I didn't notice that.
No, I'm either.
An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive.
Oh, that would be it.
Oh, that okay. Well, at least the
I
coffee
can't
cold.
fucking believe it.
I was like, did I just imagine that? They didn't notice it. I must have imagined it. It's just so funny to me because the judge just kept talking like nothing happened.
Right? Like, how can he ignore this kind of bullying?
He's just so numb to everything that's going on. He gets whipped when Franny's there. He gets yelled at. Anybody else is there. It's like it's so normal now.
I thought this cold coffee might help you cool down.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot?
That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The aroma.
Buddy, we don't want to fucking breathe in dead body smell. Sorry. Huh?
A coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma.
The rest of the court doesn't speak coffinese. Can you elaborate a bit more?
If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice laying in wait to catch it.
An accomplice?
The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So, who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Trite?
Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do.
Yes, Your Honor. Takes out shotgun. Levels at it. In Godot. So fucking sick of his shit. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. Scream.
Very well then. You please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple?
It can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? But I
don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it.
Trite, were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple guarding after the mother-daughter bloodbath.
I haven't forgotten. But have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if on that night the defendant was in 2 different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
Mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge. Which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is...
There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach during this trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand. Her real name is...
Larry Butts!
Larry Butts! Indra. I never thought I'd have to utter your name again. Let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
It's just your imagination, Gramps. The file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
Knife emoji.
The honor is all mine.
No, not Bane! Ugh. No, the honor is all mine. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Guess what? Fucking goes to real, bro.
It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom.
What?
Man, what do you feel like? What do you think it's like to be like totally unaware of any of this bullshit and just like in the fucking stands watching this? Like everybody's like, what? What the fuck? Like,
All the normal people.
See, if I lived in this world, one, I would be terrified because I know I would die by the age of 10. But until that point, I would be coming to every trial with popcorn and soda.
Order, order, order.
Wait a moment. How can you? My sister. She's already dead. What kind of...
you like to pretend, though. You, of all people, should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. Ooh, that sounds a little weird.
The Korean channeling technique. Now, where have I heard that?
I don't know, like maybe half the trials you've presided over?
He just disassociates the entire time. He's not actually listening. He's just thinking about pretty girls.
He blocks it out of his memory from trauma.
That's right. You're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. Ba ba ba. Ba da da da.
What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was.
Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes.
We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happened.
Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were even there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple.
2 of them.
Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time.
It means that the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris.
Finks, do you want to say something?
Sorry, I pressed the push to talk and that happened.
Amazing. Perfect. And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne.
Do you even know what you're saying, trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris.
Yeah, are you sure about that?
Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike.
Oh my god. Bitch made fucking Maya kill her mother.
It was later that the body was moved by the pendulum.
That's right.
Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There, they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center.
Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that.
Oh, thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
Don't you fucking blushy face at me, you fake ass. But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night.
Ha! I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like, the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places.
Switched places. To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia. How do you fucking know, bro? Which means...
Because she's from the Branch family.
Oh, that's right. They must have switched places somewhere.
Then again, that doesn't necessarily mean that she wouldn't have that power.
Yeah. See, like, that's the presumption, but I think that's fucking bullshit because, like, that was, like, the whole point that, what do you call it? What's the baby? Pearls. Pearls was the linchpin, supposedly, that was supposed to channel her in the first place. Why would her own mother expect her to be able to do that if her other children wouldn't be also able to do that? You know? Like, it's the same...
I guess the logic is that if either Dahlia or Iris had that power, then she would have put that faith in them instead. And Pearl may not even have ever been born. Because I kind of think that the only reason Pearl was born was as, like, another desperate attempt to get a child that could channel.
Yeah, but the thing was, the whole problem was that her husband literally took custody of the two girls and never let them go and see their mom again. It wasn't probably, like, the girls didn't want to see their mom. It was the dude somehow got custody solely over them and left.
We don't know at what age that happened, though.
They seem to be pretty young if he dropped Iris off at Hazakura and then kept fucking Dahlia. Like, they were little, like, to the point where, you know, Iris pretty much lived there her entire life.
By the way, Iris did tell Phoenix she didn't have power.
Huh?
He did?
Yeah.
Well, but
It was
that's
a
also like...
when Iris was like, oh, I hate spirit channeling and all.
Oh, right.
See, but like... I don't know, there's just so much where it's like, how much is Iris actually willing to tell Phoenix, even if she's not, like, feeling any contempt toward him? It's still like, are you really going to tell somebody the truth?
I feel like there's gotta be something that tells them very young that a person has some sort of power. Because, like, Pearl's only 7, and she's already considered a very strong medium.
I don't know, it just seems It just seems like maybe they're not telling the truth. Or, I don't know, maybe Iris has a mental block on it because of all of the trauma related to that. It seems weird.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance.
Oh, explain yourself.
Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown.
Unknown? What do you mean?
What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised.
Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that?
Sorry, I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. Oh no, did you? You're gonna fucking rat out. You're gonna rat out Gumshoe. Oh, right.
This is your boyfriend, Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it?
Excuse me, he's my husband. Your Honor. There was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not?
An earthquake,
Oh, a bikini.
Earthquake! Oh my goodness! In a temple, this kind of trouble.
Shaky, shaky.
How could I have? She fled. She escaped.
We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they'd already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne.
That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider
Be
the idea.
quiet.
Holy shit, you out yourself every goddamn time!
It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
Dahlia Hawthorne, and my current profession, permanently retired.
Huh. So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
Fucking crap. That face.
What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her, and for myself. To be continued. I fucking knew it!
I knew there was one close, so I stretched the episode out. Ugh. How you feeling, Moon?
I'm glad she stopped pretending, but I'm so mad that I was right. I'm just surprised that it really wasn't like possible for Iris to channel her. I was convinced that that was just how Dahlia was there. She decided to possess her sister.
Well then, we will end things right there. Thank you folks for watching and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.